This is the new iPhone 3GS from Apple. The iPhone 3GS is of course the follow-on device to the last year's iPhone 3G and brings with it just a few changes that are noteworthy. The hardware looks identical, it's exactly the same. In fact, every dimension is similar, and to the naked eye there's no way to tell them apart. We've got the home button here on the front. On the left side we've got the ringer switch that will silence the ringer. We've got a volume toggle. On the bottom we've got the speaker and the data connection port. Nothing on the right side here. And on the top we've got the silence, power, and lock key and a full 3.5mm headset jack. On the back, of course, it also looks the same. The only discernible difference is that it is 32 gigabytes, so we know that this is the iPhone 3GS. Most of the refinements to this device are, of course, under the hood. It has a new 600 megahertz processor, 256 megabytes of RAM, an upgraded 3.0 megapixel camera with autofocus, and the ability to capture video. So those are the major improvements on the inside. And the software, of course, of the iPhone 3GS is the new iPhone 3.0 operating system, which brings a number of new features to the iPhone. We showed you those earlier in a video we shot several days ago. Let's look at a few of the software features that are available only to the iPhone 3GS. Home screen is mostly identical. You're not going to see too many differences here. One really neat application, of course, is the compass. The compass will let us know where north is, and you can see we're not quite pointed in the right direction. And looks like it's doing okay. Has us pretty much pegged accurately. And if you want, you can jump from the compass directly into Google Maps, which has one very helpful feature which we'll show you. Hitting the My Location key, you can see it's jumping in and mapping out a location. And if we want, we hit this again and it'll show us where we are. Hit it one more time and you'll see we've got this funky little arrows, and if we turn the phone we'll see that these arrows turn with it, and it basically tells you the general direction that you're pointing. So that can help you get yourself oriented if you're lost, not exactly sure where you are. Using this feature, it will let you know kind of the general direction you're pointing. So that's pretty cool. Another new feature that is found in the iPhone 3GS is, of course, the new camera application and some of its subsequent changes to the photo gallery application. So let's take a look at those. Opening the camera, you can see it launches pretty fast, and here we have this autofocus. So we can use this to choose where on the screen we'd like the phone to focus. So we want to focus dead center, press there, and it'll do that. Take the picture and it saves it to your gallery, and you can see how fast it performs. The autofocus jumps right back. We'll shoot a couple more pictures just to show you how fast it can perform. Not as fast as the Palm Pre, but it's a lot faster than the previous version of the iPhone. No complaints there with the way it takes pictures. If you want to record video, you basically flip this little switch here, and you've changed it to video mode. Now I would highly recommend that you turn the phone on its side, because the iPhone 3GS does record in the based on the orientation of the phone. So if you have it in portrait orientation, you're going to get a portrait-shaped video, and if you hold it like this, you're going to get a more standard TV-shaped video that will play well on YouTube and your television, your computer, and so on. So you want to record, we'll hit the recording key, and we'll give it something to actually look at for a few seconds. So we're recording, we're looking at my silly fingers, and we're done. Now that we're done, we can jump into the gallery application and take a look at our video. So we'll turn the phone around, and you can see if we want to play our video, pretty obvious what to do. Push the play button, and we'll give it something to actually look at for a few seconds, and the video will play. Let's say we don't really like the video though. We can choose to edit it a little bit. So we select this tool up here, and we can shorten the clip as much as we want, and trim out a little bit at the beginning, trim out a little bit at the end, and hit the trim key, and it'll take a few seconds to edit down the video. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you do this, you are going to lose all of the video you shot, and will only keep the trimmed segment. So let's say we're done with that. Now later this summer you'll be able to actually send that via MMS, but for now you can only send it via an email sent to a MobileMe account or directly to YouTube if you are a YouTube fanatic. So that's all cool and fun stuff. Going back to the camera roll itself, you can see we've got a bunch of video and pictures here all lumped together. You can sort them out. We can look at just our photos, just our videos, or all of it together. And one thing I really like is you can do some batch processing. So we hit this little key down here. Sorry, I'll show you that. Hit this little key down here, and you can see we've got a new few options down here. So these are some pretty boring pictures. So I'd like to delete them. So I can now delete all 5 of them at once. So that means you can speed things up a little bit. So if you've taken some shots of some things that you don't want to keep, you can delete them all at once, or you can choose to share them all at once, or copy them all at once. So that's a nice new feature built into the camera and gallery application. And we'll jump back out to the home screen here. Most of the other features of the iPhone 3GS work exactly as the original iPhone and the iPhone 3G. Of course, the iPhone 3GS, that S does happen to mean something. The S is for speed, so they say. And with a faster processor and more RAM, it is pretty evident throughout the phone. Things just load faster. You can see how fast I can swipe through all my applications and games, and how quickly I'm able to, to jump around the phone and do things. You'll notice in the iPod application, if we go to CoverFlow works nice and fast. On previous versions of the iPhone, there were some delays, and it wasn't exactly smooth. This is perfect. I mean, it can't really be any faster in the way that it works. So, no new functions or features in the iPhone's music player, but it's nice that it performs faster. You'll also notice this in applications such as YouTube, which will take a few seconds to load here from the network. And once it does, you'll see how responsive the application is. So there's all our videos. You can see how fast it populated. And as we scroll through, our thumbnails pop up right away. On previous versions of the iPhone, it was not quite that speedy. As we said, most other aspects of the iPhone 3GS are not all that different from the original iPhone or even the iPhone 3G. The basic differences are more storage capacity up to 32 gigabytes, the 3-megapixel camera with autofocus, the ability to capture videos and share those videos via YouTube, email, and such, and of course the magnetometer, which powers the compass and integrates into Google Maps, and so on. So you've definitely got some new features here and some new functionality. Of course, the price tag remains $200 for the 16 gig and $300 for the 32 gig if you're eligible for subsidized pricing. If not, you're looking at a pretty hefty price tag, several $100s more than the subsidized amount. So, is the iPhone 3GS worth switching to if you're already an iPhone customer? That's something only you can answer. That's a budget issue, depending on whether or not you're eligible. And if you're considering an iPhone for the first time, for $300, you're getting a lot of functionality in this device. So there it is, folks, the iPhone 3GS available from AT&T.